Welcome, everyone. This is Elsie Kerns, your Overwhelm Warrior, and I just wanted to let you know about a great free webinar this Thursday, February 17th. It'll be 30 minutes, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to talk about anxiety, burnout, stress. Does any of that sound familiar? Who isn't frustrated today? There's a wonderful method to help us with that, the spotted method. And this is a way to experience a very simple 4-step method. And that is available to use it. Oh, hi, Donna. Come on.
Hello.
Hi, we got you up there. I was just talking about spotted and how we're going to do that free webinar this Thursday.
Yes.
Right? 30 minutes, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And we're looking forward to sharing this information. Absolutely. But one of the reasons I wanted you to come on, Donna, is because I know that you are not only a founding member of Spotted, but also a coach, instructor with Spotted, and you've been doing this for many years. So I wanted your expertise because a lot of people may not really know what spotted method is. Can you give us a brief overview of that, please?
Sure, Elsie, I would love to. So, Spotted is based on a cognitive behavioral therapy method that was founded in Chicago back in the 30s by the Dr. Abraham Lowe. And it's over 80 years of a proven method of this wellness, mental fitness method that helps you really de-escalate stressful thoughts, anxieties that people may experience. So the method really helps you to change your thoughts in situations when you feel like you're losing your emotional intelligence.
That's a key, that emotional intelligence. I know when I took the training, I was so impressed with the fact that this is available 24/7. And I know everyone has kind of a unique story as to how they come to the spotted method. So if you feel like being a little vulnerable and telling us about your story briefly.
Sure. So Elsie, you know, I'm a yoga teacher for the past 20 years, teaching meditation, yoga. I even lead yoga teacher trainings as well. I'm a part of that. And about 5 years ago, I started having an issue with panic and anxiety disorder after dealing with a very traumatic experience within our family. So I tried a lot of different modalities, and it took about a good year. I was kind of struggling with it, and I found this method. And I tell everybody, if you ask me what was the one thing that got me back into functioning, because we all know that when we go through very stressful periods in our life, we're just not balanced. And when we're not balanced, our thinking's not balanced. So this method, when I was introduced to it, really helped me regain my balance and getting back my critical thinking, because I was so stuck in these negative, insecure feelings and sensations too, Elsie. Like, it was in my body. You know, I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. And I actually, before I came to Spotted, I got physically sick. So this program helped me even get over those hurdles as well by keeping my thinking in a more positive direction and not falling into that, what we sometimes like to call thought loops of negativity, just feeling like everything is going wrong.
Well, that certainly sounds as though it would help anyone. And also, I know that you're not only a founding member of Spotted, but you've been a course instructor, and a lot of your work with the Dillon-Marcus group has centered in the workplace. So what have people experienced with that easily right in their own workplace?
Yes. So after being in the program, the original program, which was founded in Chicago, Dillon-Marcus, Evan Marcus from Dillon-Marcus, got the great idea. Why don't we bring this to people in corporate settings in the workplace. And what we thought would be so priceless is if we can catch these stresses and tensions before they build on us an avalanche, and then we have these experiences where we feel we're out of control. If we gave them this critical thinking before everything got too big, and we figured in this day and age right now, what better place would that be as the workplace? So we actually with Dillon-Marcus got the licensing from the original program in Chicago to bring this into a corporate workplace center or environment.
Well, how would someone, if they were interested in this, find out more about it? I think you'll be giving a more in-depth information on the webinar. And by the way, the link is right here, spotted.eventbrite.com. It's free. It's 30 minutes. It's going to be recorded for replay. So how would they get in touch with you, Donna, or find out more about this in addition to watching the webinar?
So they can reach out to Spotted, whynotspotted.com. That's one way to get to us. They could always reach out to you, Elsie, if they're seeing this Facebook Live. And we also have, and again, join the webinar. Come to the SpottedEventbrite.com webinar. It's going to be, like you said, quick, a half an hour. We're going to do a brief overview, answer some questions, and then the information to get in touch with a Spotted trained facilitator to help you get it in for yourself individually or into your organization.
And I know that you and Vicki King have put together a very comprehensive, short PowerPoint slideshow for this. So we have that visual to really understand. And of course, there's actually a Spotted workbook and other tools. What is your favorite spot? Because when we go through this 4-step method, one of the things that we use are different spots to help us, as you said, work with our own peace of mind.
Yes. So briefly, the great thing about this method, Elsie, and like you said, it's 4 steps that can be done in under 5 minutes to get you out of those moments, those tricky moments when you sort of are getting paralyzed by fear. We like to use the example of getting in front of a public speaking event, doing a Facebook Live, Vicki, all those things where you have to speak in public and we may get nervous. So you have these phrases, we call them spots, that help replace the negative thought with the more positive thought. So my favorite spot is, it's distressing, not dangerous. And I know, Elsie, that a lot of the time people are going to think, well, what do you mean that little phrase can help me? But when you are out of your emotional intelligence or where you're out of balance, you sometimes need those reminders. So often when we're in stress and anxiety, and you can agree with this, Elsie, the body primarily just senses fear. That's all it's, that flashing lights going on, that fight or flight, fear, fear, fear. So we just say it's distressing, it's not dangerous. And you just repeat it over and over. It's distressing, it's not dangerous. You're not in imminent danger. And eventually you start to reclaim that critical thinking.
When I first got into the program and into the training, one of the spots that really stood out to me is that comfort is a want and not a need. I was like, oh my gosh,
Well, yeah, we're always, as humans, we're always striving for that comfort, right?
Absolutely.
And then we feel like if we're not comfortable, we can't function. If everything's not lined up the exact way we want it, then it's a disaster. So we need to get out of that thinking that we must be in comfort to function. So, and then that always leads, and the great thing with these spots, Elsie, is one always leads to another. And we make our greatest gains when we practice in discomfort. We really have to learn to be uncomfortable. That is one of the biggest problems we see in the workplace setting, is that the minute somebody gets uncomfortable, they begin to shut down. When they begin to shut down, we're losing productivity. We call that absenteeism versus presenteeism. So they're at work, they're in front of that computer screen, they're in the office, but they are not mentally present because their body is sending off some sort of stressor or warning sign about whatever they're enduring, whether it's in the workplace or at home. Everything, filters together, Elsie. So yeah, comfort is a want, not a need, is a very valuable spot because we've been, by society, we've just been trained to strive for comfort, instant gratification, all those things we're dealing with these days.
I would say that is more than ever true. Wow, really.
Mm,
I just want to remind everyone it's a free
yes.
30-minute Zoom webinar. It's
Mhm.
12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it will be, I'm sorry, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to put all the times below and the link below and how you can touch base with this. You'll have a replay. So even if you can't make that day and time, sign up, get the replay, and then you can always follow up and possibly bring this to your workplace
Mhm.
with your family or by yourself. It works right around the block.
Well, that's the great thing, Elsie, because not only is it for the workplace, but the individual can access it too. The program is set up for both modalities. So, again, if you take the program, you can work it with your family. If you get it through your workplace, you can still bring it home with you. So, that's the beauty of it.
Yes. And I know that you're also trying to bring it into the schools because we know
Mhm.
the young people today are struggling with a lot of anxiety, and actually based on the whole world situation, it's been particularly difficult for them over the last 2 years as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the stress in the school systems for from the administration down to the preschools, the stress is just incredible. So this is really geared for the support people in the schools, the administration, the teachers, the school boards, the counselors. And we hope in the future to have the program set up to actually have one for the students as well. Because the great thing about this, Elsie, is not only can you use it alone, because this four-step method, you can use it on your own, or it can also be peer-to-peer, which I think is the gold, as we like to say it, because you work with it with peers. So if I'm in a situation and say I can't, get the help that I need, I can make a 5-minute phone call to a friend and say, can we work through the 4 steps? It's 5 minutes, Elsie. That's it. It can be less than 5 minutes. So if a child's at school and goes running to the counselor, they can use this 4-step method and just start to dial it down. And it's not a fix, Elsie. That's what sometimes it's a tool, it's a method to use in the moments when we're stuck, when we start to believe our fears. So somebody can use this before a meeting, before a class, and get right back to what they're doing without missing a beat. And then, of course, after that fact, get the correct follow up they need to deal with, the ongoing situation.
Right. So if they need medical or other therapy, it's not replacing that, but it's giving them something in the moment to help them work through that situation.
And yeah, and that brings up a good point, Elsie. When I was having what I like to call my mental health crisis, um, instead of waiting a week to see a therapist or whatever, I always kept saying there has to be a tool. And all those modalities were very valuable in helping me get back my mental health. But I wanted something I could take home with me and use in between those spaces. And this was the method that helped me do that.
Mhm. Great. Well, Donna, I know you have another meeting, but I just want to thank you for coming on with your expertise. Remind everybody, please join us Thursday, February 17th. And again, if you can't make that day and time, you'll be able to receive the replay. It's only a 30-minute webinar. So grab your lunch, check in with us, and learn more about this with Donna and Vicki and the whole team.
Yeah. Thank you, Elsie.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And I'll put all the information below again so you can easily sign up. Okay, let me find out. Okay, there we go.